There's a bus lane down the middle that's never ever used, so I'd love to go and sort that plonker out that dreamt up that stairfoot roundabout.
And that's Dave Cherry with his song sung in the unique Barnsley dialect. Now I'm Max Senior, and we've Dave here with us. He's a well-known Barnsley character whose dialect song raised thousands of pounds, would you believe, for the Barnsley Hospice, and whose latest project is to find out why the Barnsley dialect is disappearing. Long time no see, Dave. How's it going?
I'm okay, Max. It's t'others, as they say in Barnsley. That's the problem. It's everybody else. Yeah.
So, the song's in dialect.
Yeah.
Can you explain to everybody who is not from around here what it all means? Just give us another 4 bars.
I'd like to get me hands upon the fart who thought up the stairfoot roundabout.
Wow.
So,
it really is brilliant, showing this Barnsley dialect. Now then, there's words in there that, such as Ilkley Moor Bar Cat, for example.
yeah.
People down south haven't got a clue what that is. Go on.
Well, Max, actually in Ilkley they don't talk like that. But at, it means without the at.
Yeah.
Without the at. So it's only round here, round Barnsley, who says that. Like that song, I'd like to get my hands upon the fart. Well, that's self-explanatory. Who thought up the stairfoot roundabout. Thought up the stairfoot roundabout. It's so funny, the dialect, that the actual connotation of roundabout is bat, so it's easy to rhyme with.
Yeah. So what's this about Royston and a balloon then, Dave?
Well, Royston, the actual dialect, it's easy. From the town centre, it's a radius of 5 miles. So if you look at that 5 mile radius, which takes you to Oiland Common, swing round West Melton, over to Royston, that area, over to Darton, swing back round, in verbatim, word for word, it's word for word, perfect. Now then, I've tried going back in history. Royston, let's just get to that one first. Royston's the anomaly. In the 1890s, a load of miners come from a Staffordshire village to work the Moncton collieries.
I've got it, yeah.
So they brought a lot of dialect words with them, like for instance a ball, bus, they say boss, you know. So I've tried going back in time. I found a remarkable book, The History of Silkstone, in 1855, a wonderful tale on a balloon. All the people come one summer's night in 1855, they all saw this balloon and they all come running out to
Really?
end of the world sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it crashed near Blacker Green Dam.
Oh, I know Blacker Green Down.
Yeah, we was kids. And one bloke, the actual balloon crashes, and this bloke called William Garnett, Bill Garnett, that's a common name,
Yeah.
says, that bloke, he had top weight on, holding it down. That he had top weight on, holding it down.
Holding it down.
So that proves my theory that in 1855 they talk like us. Actually, it were false news, because it was to celebrate the fall of Sebastopol in the Crimean War.
Right.
In the Crimean War, 1855, and actually the city hadn't fallen, so false news.
Yeah. So if you fast forward then to 2021, Dave, would you say that the dialect's changed over the years?
Oh, definite. What I'm finding out that people under 50, they don't speak like we do. There's a lot of dialect words gone. Brushen, laking, coit, buit. You know, these dialect words are slowly gone.
I'm interested in the word larum.
Larum, well, my dad used to say it. He used to say, I'll put larum on.
Yeah.
It's the alarm, backwards. Larum. Why they said that, I do not know.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. So
You never hear that these days, but my dad used to use that word as well.
Yeah. And you find out that, you know, like a lass from where I was brought up in Woodbury, married a lass from Dorothy who worked at paper mill. So, you know, this was like before all this movement, the endemic movement of travel, demographic movement of travel. The people stopped in the old locality, you know. So, and that's what happened. Like, you know, a lass married a lad from Pitt, married a lass from Paper Mill or Brooks Motors, and it stopped there. So, this is like before cars. It's only in the last, 1950s when, you know, when our dads had started buying cars, you know.
Travel became cheaper, people could started to work away from where they were living.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, my son went to live in London, work in London, then moved back to Harrogate, brought up two grandkids, don't speak a word of Barnsley dialect, so it's gone.
Well, my son's 10,000 miles away in New Zealand. He's a copper there in New Zealand.
Does he use it, Dave?
He still lapses back into it, and my grandson is 17 now, Ryan. He loves this. We'll say it's chucking it down. He just couldn't understand. You know, it's wonderful. Yeah. But it is surprising how the dialects going.
Now then, just for the benefit of them that's listening to this or reading this, we want, or Dave wants, people to come forward and tell us of the disappearing dialect words, and there must be hundreds and hundreds out there. Yeah. So if you want to help out with this particular project, this research that Dave's involved with, get in touch with Dave and he will let you know. Well, he'll compile all these words, because I do believe that Dave's going to eventually write a book about this. So Dave, thanks very much for helping us out. And thanks very much for coming in. Yeah. And I'm sure that at some point in the near future we'll get Dave Cherry back in the studio and we'll do a real live history on this guy, because let me tell you, he's got a story to tell. Thanks, Dave.
Okay, mate. He's behind his heart.